Nobody's crowing. They're all stuffing their faces right now. So, good afternoon from Bobblehead Homestead. I am Jeff. Today is Tuesday. It was 98 degrees again today, and it probably still is. Wow, wow, wow. But a beautiful day otherwise. Little puffy clouds up in the blue sky, and a little slight breeze. Not as breezy as yesterday, but it was a fine day. In spite of it being so hot. And alright, what's on tap for today? Eggs, incubators, broody hens. Yeah, it's all going on today. I'm going to candle some eggs, see what we got going on. The 24 dark brown eggs were put in here on the 4th. So this is just over a week left. And I've candled them before. Some of them are really hard to see through, but at this time I'm going to remove the eggs that have not developed. So, alright. Definitely no development. Okay, now I'm going to candle the whiting true blue eggs. These were put in on the 7th or the 8th. One of those 2 days. It was just a few days later. So I'm going to candle these, and I'll probably remove the ones that don't show any development. That's a big old bummer. I candled them a few days ago, so I knew it was coming. But only 11 of the 24 olive acres in the bigger incubator am I keeping that have they've developed normally. So just under half, 11 of the 24 I'm gonna I put back in the incubator. I'll talk more about those later. And this is the bummerest of bummering. Only 3 of the 12 whiting true blues showed proper development. So only 3 out of those 12, and I put those back in the incubator. So what causes that? All kinds of stuff. Those are young roosters. They might not be as prolific and fertile as a more experienced rooster. With that many that just never started developing, well, and you can tell if they start developing and then stop at some point. And if that's the case, then it might be your incubator. But if they just never start developing, that might indicate a problem with the rooster or the hens. And it also might indicate a problem with your incubator. But yeah, I don't know. I have no explanation. First time I incubated eggs, I had an old clumsy incubator. I put 40 in there, and I think only 10 hatched. One of the things with these incubators is they always recommend keeping them in a room with a constant 70, to 75 degree temperature. And that is not the case. These are in the mobile home. I do have my window air conditioner hooked up, but I've got it set at like 82 degrees. So it probably fluctuates in here between 82 and it shouldn't be too bad because we only get down to like 70 at night. And I know, well, I don't know, but yeah, this room probably does not get down that low. So with the higher temperature in here, I don't know if that had a factor into it at all. I just don't know. So, alright, here's what I'm going to do. With those 11 in the incubator, I think I'm going to go out and put those under Mrs. B and take her eggs and put those eggs in the incubator. These are going to be done in like 8 days, and so that would reduce the amount of time that she is sitting on the eggs, and then she would be raising those chicks instead of me having to put them in a tub and raise them and stuff like that. So I think it's better off if Mrs. B were to raise them. And this probably isn't the smartest thing to do, shuffling eggs around. That might have been part of my problem also, especially with the white and true blues. Some of those I tried to put under number 2, And then, you know, she didn't stick with them, and so she stuck with the others a few days later, and so those got shuffled around a lot. That's probably the number one thing on the Whiting True Blues is what happened, is I just, you know, goofed around with them too much. Alright, enough rambling on this, but yep, I'm going to put those eggs under Mrs. B. I'm going to grab hers and put those in the incubator. How many does she have? See, those could fit in the smaller one, but then I have to turn them every day. So I'll put them in the bigger one so they're automatically turned. That might be another thing, is maybe the automatic turner was not working as good as I thought it would. You know, I put marks on there on not all the eggs. I only put it on one in each row, and maybe that wasn't smart. Maybe I should have put a mark on every single one of them to make sure when it's shifting, you know, those little arms move back and forth to roll the egg, and I don't know, maybe that didn't work either. I have no idea. It's kind of a bummer, but I'll deal with it, and we'll just keep on hatching eggs. Got to learn by going through failures. I had to kick Mrs. B off the nest, and so perfect opportunity. I can take her eggs out and put these eggs in. Okay, we've got those 11 eggs out of the incubator into there, and we'll see what happens. This isn't the smartest thing to do. I'm not telling anybody this is what should be done or suggesting anybody else do this. This is just what I'm doing. So, all right, Mrs. B, we got you some eggs. Okay, those are the eggs that were under Mrs. B. I just candled them, and they look, I mean, it's only been a few days, but it does look good except for one of the blue eggs. One of the blue eggs doesn't show any signs of development. The other ones maybe, but I'll keep my eye on those. And what I can do now, I've only got the 3 Whiting True Blue eggs in there, and those are due to hatch more than a week before these are due to hatch. So what I can do at that time is take out those 2 Whiting True Blue eggs and put them into here, and that way I can keep them separated, and I'll know who is who when they're born. Because if those Whiting True Blues were to hatch in there with those other ones, then I'm not going to know, most likely, unless I can tell by, you know, their coloring and stuff like that. But I'm probably not going to know until they're adults. So yep, I think that'll work out, is that I'll go ahead and keep those in here, and if those hatch, then I can put the blue eggs in there to finish out and keep them separate. You've got to wait your turn. You know you got to wait your turn. Number 2 is out there pigging out, so I can take a look at her eggs. We've got 8 of her eggs, 2 of the Whiting True Blue eggs. None of them are cracked, and everything looks good. Thank you, number 2. Number 2 is very loud when she gets off the nest. She is just chirping the whole time. Well, those are 3 Welsomer cockerels, and that's a little Welsomer pullet. Another Welsomer pullet. Good afternoon, Mrs. B. Alright, you are sitting on the new eggs that I gave you. That's good. Yeah, I think you might enjoy these eggs better, because that means you won't have to sit on them as long. Are you going to be a good mom, Mrs. B? I hope so. We'll find out in about 8 or 9 days, I think. I don't know what these white plants are, but the red-spotted purple admiral butterflies sure do seem to like them. I got 3 of them all right there. Beautiful butterflies. Yesterday there were 2, today there are 3. Another shelf. I'm gonna have to change the name of this channel to the Shelf Guy or the Shelf Dude, something like that. I don't know. These were gifted to me. There were 4 shelves like that were gifted to me like a year ago. And I've got one of them in the bedroom in the mobile home. The other 3 I was planning on using in the back bedroom in the mobile home for seed starts. But then more of my electricity went out in the mobile home. That kind of shot those plans. So I never did put the other 3 together. But I've got a plan for all 3 of them in the tiny cabin. The first one I just put together, and you'll have to find out in a future video where that one's going. This one, yeah, had some problems with it. And I don't know, I just opened the box today, so I don't know if it happened during shipping. It very likely could have happened here. With all the construction and shuffling stuff around, that box might have gotten dropped and it happened here. And that's not a big deal. I don't know, maybe I'll find another use for this somehow. I bet Drew will come up with something. He's an ingenious guy. But yeah, that one's fine. And those are on rollers, so I can move them around out of the way. That's a good thing. And what I did, they're supposed to have 4 shelves, so with the busted one I only have 3. I just raised the bottom shelf up high enough so that I can put like the plastic storage tubs underneath it, stuff like that, so that will work fine. So yeah, more shelves. And what else can I tell you? I don't know. I waited until a little bit later in the day. It's probably not 98, it's probably only like 92 right now. That's all right. Okay, yeah, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. You'll have to check out a future video to see what I do with that shelf, probably tomorrow. And take her easy, everybody.